guys can see, I have the V6 engine for the Toyota MR2 here, and I just finished cleaning and prepping the head so I can drop in the valve cover with brand new gaskets. So everything is cleaned up. I have the valve covers there, the gasket here, and some gray RTV. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the O-rings that goes here, and then I'm gonna put a tiny bit of RTV with the head splits right about there, and I'm gonna do a very, very thin layer all the way around the valve cover. Put some pressure on it and leave it overnight, and tomorrow when we come back, I'm gonna be bolting in everything else that goes attached to the valve cover. So it is late, I'm the only one in the shop, and I think it is time for me to show you what I've done so far. So shout out to Downstar Hardware, like always. Both sides are done. And the reason why I have silver here, we actually ran out of the black one, so I put silvers on the coils for now. I gotta talk to my boy Frank so he can send a few more. I'm done for now, so I don't know who's gonna pick up this camera next, but it's not me. So see you guys.
Several days later.
What's up, boys and girls? We've got just about 2 weeks left before this car has to debut at its first car show called the MR2 Assemble. We'll leave details for that event down below. If you guys want to come out and meet the throtl team or see the car in person, it's going to be there. So that means we got to get some maintenance stuff done on our V6 before we put it in the car. We've got a bunch of those parts here today. However, not everything is here. We've got some pulleys. We've got our starter that Big Jeff cleaned up that's ready to go back on. We've got our alternator. We've got a new belt. And we've got our Wilhelm Raceworks oil cooler adapter that we're going to be installing. We're going to take the factory oil cooler off and put his adapter plate on so that we can run a nice big Hayden 25 row oil cooler externally on the car. I'm going to go ahead and get started. This Wilhelm Raceworks oil cooler adapter kit is really cool, but man, this is a really well thought out kit. Really happy with it. Only tough thing is about it is there's not a lot of room to tighten down your fittings. I'm not big on using a steel tool against an aluminum fitting, but I'm just gonna snug it up with a 24mm socket. They thought this through. Because this is in such an awkward place, and once it's in the car, it's probably really difficult to get to is my guess. They made a lock. So this goes in here like this, and once you align the fittings right, I gotta adjust this one just a little bit more. It will actually bolt in at the third bolt here and lock these fittings in from spinning. So what you don't have to worry about is in the middle of your day at the racetrack, you have an oil drip leak from here and having to figure out how you're gonna get up there to tighten it. Once that's secured, these aren't backing off. thing I did was I actually removed the really nice hardware that came with the Wilhelm Raceworks kit. They sent along really nice stainless M8 nuts and a bolt, proper size bolt. However, I went ahead and upgraded ours to Downstar hardware. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to have a little more clearance to put these fittings on when the time comes. Very happy with this product. I went ahead and threw a little bit of orange paint pen on the in and out indicators on this so that if we're at the track or we're doing this quickly and we have an issue with the oil cooler, we can quickly and easily see the in and out positions on the lines. Maybe a little overkill, but I like to do stuff like that. All right, so I also went ahead and popped off our water pump pulley because we're replacing everything else. There's no reason why we should leave this crusty old pulley on there. So we go ahead and blast this and get it cleaned up. Put a nice new coat of black paint on it so it looks new again. All right guys, so we went ahead and pulled our tensioner pulley off. As you can see, it was very rusty from sitting out in the junkyard, and also the bearing is shot, so it's really noisy when it spins. Evan went ahead and ordered us the new one, which is really nice and shiny and cool. Unfortunately, when I went to take the pulley off, the bowl was really tight, and when it came off, it actually broke the tensioner provision for the pulley. It's aluminum, it's a little brittle, and it actually snapped the ear off. So it also cracked it pretty badly here. Couldn't figure out why that would happen. And then upon further inspection, if you guys can see inside the threads here, the threads are actually stripped really bad inside. So somebody may have changed this in the past, and when they threaded the bolt in, they cross-threaded it so that when I went to pull it out, it had a lot of tension on it, and that caused the aluminum ear to break off. And as you can see, this is a really thin piece of material, so consequently it cracked and broke. We ordered a new tensioner that's complete with a pulley. We'll bolt that back on, but the problem is now I can't button up the accessory belt portion of this video. So gotta wait for this, it's gonna take 2 or 3 days. We're gonna go ahead and get everything else cleaned up and ready to go so that when this comes in, we can put the 5 bolts in it, slap the belt on, and we're done. Decided that we're gonna go ahead and do the rear main seal. We were able to get one really quick, and it's here already. So I went ahead and popped the rear main seal cover off. We're gonna put the new rear main seal gasket in where this one was. This is a pretty simple swap. You just basically take out the old one, pop in the new one, clean up all your old gasket sealer, and then reseal it and pop it back together. It looks like this has never been done on this engine. Being a 2011, it's probably the case. Go ahead and do it. That way we don't have to worry about it from here on out. Disc? Okay, I was gonna say, if this is our flywheel, holy cow. The lightest, would have been the lightest flywheel I ever felt. So that is our sprung disc. They come pretty nicely packaged. I've never seen a clutch packed this nicely. This is our heavy duty pressure plate to go with our sprung disc. Good thing the packaging is adequate. Alright guys, well, our clutch kit didn't come with clutch bolts, and this being that it was an automatic, previously we don't have any extra hardware laying around and probably wouldn't want to reuse the old hardware anyway. So Evan just ran off to our local hardware store to pick up some grade 8 hardware for here. There's a couple things that need to be clearanced on the engine in order for the stock transmission to bolt up to this 2GR engine. There's a little ear on a bolt hole here that needs to be removed or smoothed out. There's a little pocket here on the side of the engine that needs to be cut away. I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out real quick. We'll test fit the transmission once I can put the clutch on, and we should be good to go.
Alright guys, right now I have the alternator installed. We are waiting on the tensioner to show up. We have that done, we'll be able to attach the belt. We have the starter mounted, the transmission is completely mounted already. We are just missing one bolt, which Ev is bringing in the morning. The next step is to put the harness on. Just gonna put you guys on the tripod and time lapse, that way you guys can see me. So I need to try to figure out how this thing goes. And if you guys can see here, it is not that small of a harness. First thing I did, our body mark told us to put it right on top of it, and this plastic portion will be facing the front of the engine where the pulleys are at. And I noticed that this one lines up to this valve cover, this side lines up to this one. Now this doesn't line up, but like I said, this came from a different car. The harness different car from the motor. I don't know where this harness came from. And there's like 4 different Toyota engines that have it, and the mounts are different. But as of now, I know I'm in the right track because that fits there. I know this is the coil. This one hopefully fits here, which it does. This one will go here, and this one will go here. So far, I'm assuming that goes there. That can easily be mounted there. So far I know I'm in the right track. Injector, injector, injector here, then ground here. And part of this better go to the back of the transmission. Okay, this is where we are right now. The harness, engine-wise, it's already been installed. The only thing that's dangling here is the power steering and the AC. Coils are wired up, injectors from both sides, the knock sensors, same thing on this side. Everything is pretty much plugged in. And back here it goes to the transmission. So as of right now, I'm done. Mickey will pick up in the morning, Mickey and Ev, and then I'm gonna clean up this shop because it's a mess. I got a mess here. Clean this up, and then I'm gonna go home. See you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys, we're back for another day of MR2 content, and I'm hoping today's gonna be the day that the motor goes in the car. But before we do, there's a couple last minute things that we need to do. Ricky and Mickey have been grinding away, getting the motor ready to go in. We're almost there. Ooh, you got the throttle body going on.
A little downstar hardware on our throttle body. Gotta make it look nice.
That looks great. And I think Big Jeff actually like shined this up.
Yep.
Looks freaking brand new.
All cleaned up.
Ricky is getting the harness mounted up. We got the Frankenstein Motorworks headers mounted up. We got the alternator on. We're still waiting on that tensioner, which is coming in today. But there's one thing that I'm gonna be working on now, which is modifying the water neck. So the factory water neck, oh, that's it. That's the tensioner. This might not be it.
Not it. CV boot joint.
Dang it. Well, we need those too. It's supposed to be FedEx. All right, so the factory unit goes right here and it bolts right there on the cylinder head. So because the MR2, the radiator's in the front, there's really no place to fill up the coolant. What most people do is they cut a hole in the upper water neck and basically make an extension. So I've got a piece of aluminum. I'm gonna prep this surface and we're gonna take this. We're gonna add on an extension about maybe 6 to 9 inches, something like that. And then we're gonna put our standard flange for a radiator cap on the top here. So that way, when we wanna fill our coolant, we can do it right from the engine and it'll be nice and easy.
All right, so before I start fabbing up the rest of this pipe, I'm gonna go ahead and knock a hole. I've already marked it here. And then that'll allow the water to go in once we pour it in through here. Got her nice and centered up. So go ahead and knock a hole in this real quick, and then we can start fabbing up our piping. Alright, so I went ahead and taped up the water neck. It's got our hole in it for our water filler neck that we're creating. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in the blast cabinet, and I also put the tube in the blast cabinet as well. I'm gonna put a finish on both of them, and then we'll go back with a 3M Scotch Brite pad or a grinder wheel and clean up the weld areas for Evan before he gets back. He ran off to Air Gas to pick up some welding gas for our welder, and yeah, we'll have this thing done in no time. Now that we got both of our parts out of the blast cabinet, I'm gonna go ahead and take the 3M sanding disc to these and get the surfaces prepped, because this adds a little bit of porosity to the leading surfaces that we're gonna be welding on. So I wanna make sure those are nice and clean for Evan to weld on. That's the next step.
All right, so I'm not sure if Mickey explained this already, but Mickey went ahead and he prepped everything really good. I just cleaned everything off and it is looking ready to weld. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just tack the tube here to our radiator cap flange, and I already marked the correct location, the correct orientation of where that hose, the fitting is gonna be mounted. So that's good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack this, and I think once that's tacked and it's in the right place, I'm gonna finish weld all the way around, because it's very easy to weld something like this, as opposed to if it was both tacked, it'd be kind of a weird, awkward shape. So let me go ahead, get this tacked, get this finish welded, and then we'll put it onto the water neck, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish weld this, and make sure it's nice and sealed, because that's something that we definitely don't want to leak. So I'm gonna do my best, and I'll set you guys down on a time lapse so you guys can watch me do it. All right, so just finished welding the little filler cap section, and it actually came out really nice. So I think everything is good to go. I'm gonna let this cool down for just a second, and then we'll go ahead and clean this one more time, and then tack this to that. Now, as soon as this is tacked, I'm gonna bring it over to the engine, and we'll just confirm everything is right. If I need to tweak it, I can knock the tack off, but hopefully, if all goes well, we'll go ahead and tack it, then finish weld it, and then this project will be done. All right, so we're gonna go confirm that this angle is correct and that this thing is as vertical as we can get it. You can see I tacked it on there, and Mickey did an excellent job. There's like no gap, which is really great. All right, there we go. That's welded to the water neck, and then that's the cap section. Mickey spec approved.
I need some finished work, but the welds look good.
Yeah. So it's pretty toasty now. You said you're gonna put it in the blast cabinet.
Really toasty. It's
We'll
hot
try to get
grease.
it as
It's insulated
I know, these little goes.
So I'm gonna put it back in the blast cabinet. I'll tape this off, but wanna basically make this match the rest of the finish on here. We'll leave these shiny areas shiny and make it look stock.
It's pretty hot in my hand. Woo! All right, little update for you guys. Mickey went ahead and he blasted the water neck. It looks really, really nice. And you bolted it down. Everything is basically squared away. So that project is off our list, minus installing a little radiator cap. That only takes a second. And Mickey is working on installing the Frankenstein Motorworks right-hand side, I guess you call it, engine mount.
The tolerances on this thing are insane.
And this is a stout piece.
Very stout.
So this is something that Frank developed, and what's cool is he created this part, and this will bolt right into the factory mount for you know, the 5SFE. So we're gonna be using the factory mount for the transmission. We're gonna be using the factory mount back here as well. This one bolts up to the subframe, which is not installed just yet, and then the Frankenstein Motorworks mount for the right-hand side. We're gonna put the motor in the car. We're gonna at least just bolt it in with the two motor mounts, the Frankenstein Motorworks mount and the factory mount, just to see what it looks like in the car. It's more of like a progress thing for me. I wanna show progress. I know you guys have been bugging us, saying that we're like milking the content. That's just not true. There's just a lot that's involved in the swap. We wanna make sure we're doing everything right. So we're gonna just set it in there just to see how everything looks, how everything lines up, and here we go. Update number 50. The engine is in.
Look how nice that is.
Yeah, what a good little focal point.
What a nice guess.
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of room for activities over here. Well, we have the intake, I guess. There's a ton more work to be done. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave us a big thumbs up. Drop a comment. We do read the comment section. We appreciate you guys for sticking around to the end. Today's the day. We're picking the winner for the throtl 335i. But before we do, can we insert a quick little montage of how this thing came to us and what it looks like now? hope you guys enjoy that. Now we're about to pick the winner for the 335i. We got all the names in here in our system. There's a lot of entries. We can go ahead and hit start. You ready?
You there?
Yep, he's right there.
What's up, buddy?
Here we go. And the winner is
Running solo.
Sean. You just won the 335i, dude. All right. Wow. Let's go. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab his contact information. We're gonna give him a call. Oh, VIP annual member. Woo!
Oh, he's legit. He's
And
legit.
I believe he's from California.
No way.
Ooh!
A big one.
He placed a big order on the 29th.
What did he get?
AWE tuning exhaust for a Subaru WRX STI. Yeah, Subi! Sean, your life's about to change, brother. Here we go. Hey, don't get his number.
Yeah. Come on, answer.
Not answering. All right, he didn't answer. We're gonna send him a text. Yeah, that's him. It's a different number. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, is this Sean?
This is.
Oh, hey, Sean, what's up, man? This is Evan from throtl. I got a question for you. Just wanted to check in about your AWE exhaust.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's good.
So, I've got everyone here, the throtl team, because I wanted to let you know that you actually won the throtl 335i.
You're lying.
I swear to God. You won, dude.
Oh my God.
Congratulations, and
Hell
thank
yeah,
you.
man.
So you're gonna have to get rid of that WRX then.
I might have to.
Very cool. So what do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
Awesome.
Oh,
Really
wow.
cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, this car is beautiful. Have you been following the build at all on YouTube?
I have.
Okay.
I really like it, and I'm super stoked that it's a stick shift.
Yes.
That's pretty much all I've driven.
Good.
Perfect.
Perfect, dude.
Awesome,
That was
man.
one of
Well,
that's
my
awesome.
worries, dude.
Yeah, Mickey's on the line as well. Mickey, you have anything to say to Sean?
You're getting a beautiful car, brother. You're gonna love this thing. It's so awesome to drive every day. It's the perfect day.
Yeah, it looks like it. Thanks for all the work you guys put into it.
We have all your contact information. Essentially, after we get off the phone, I'll shoot you an email and we'll figure out a time for you to come down to the shop and hang out with the guys here and pick up your new car.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, all right, dude. Well,
Congratulations, man.
have a good rest of your day and
You
talk
too.
soon.
That was it.
That's it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Another one in the
Done.
books. Another one is done. Now, for those of you who entered and didn't win, we are giving away another car. We've already picked it.
Yep.
We've already selected it, and we're not going to spill the beans just yet. But I want to give everyone some hints, and I want to see what the comment section does with this. The car that we're giving away next has been on the throtl YouTube channel for about a year already. So it's a car that you guys have seen before. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think we're giving away? Is it the Bad Apple?
It's been in and out through here.
Is it the E46? Is it Rick's Porsche?
The E36?
Is it the E36? Is it the MR2? Is it the Tesla 350Z project?
Hey,
Or is it something else that maybe you've seen in the background that we haven't done too much on?
it's not on my car, so what do you think about?
Or is it?
No.
There's one other thing that I want to mention is that we've been building an Instagram account specifically made for the throtl 335i. We'll flash it up on the screen right now. And that account is going to be given to the winner. We're going to do that moving forward for every build so that you guys can follow the build after YouTube and after we give it away. I think that's one of the biggest questions.
I know we all do.
Yeah, we all do. I mean,
We all follow.
I keep in touch with the winners and you keep in touch with some of the winners as well, but I think it'd be good to have a medium for everyone to be able to follow the builds after they leave the throtl shop. And that way you can reach out to the person if you're like, wondering what's going on with the project or how, Sean likes the AccuAir system, ask him. Send him a DM, and it's super accessible for everyone to see.
Right.
So we're gonna keep doing that moving forward, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a big thumbs up. Stay tuned for the announcement of our next giveaway. We know you guys are gonna love it, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.
See you guys.